Hey guys, I'm RiggyRob, and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. So, I have pretty much carried on exactly where I left off. I put the switch into sleep mode and then didn't touch it. So, we have still got the same dice and the same actions available to us, but we did clear off a lot of our drives, our quests. And as a result, we have our character who has now got Icebreaker, Instant Karma, and Obsessive Haggler, and chances are we are not going to be able to get everything, because if we're working off of four more quests, it means you can get Efficient Extractor and Photosynthetic Skin, but not Self-Repair and Hard to Kill. So it kind of depends on whether it be more useful to make one of our existing skills better, as in getting a +2 to something. I don't know. I think having more actions available, more things to happen, is better, rather than extending what you're already good at, because the +1 already factors that in for certain roles, and Instant Karma works for us anyway, because if I don't like the rolls I have after what got left over, we can reroll the dice. But yes, so in terms of drives, the things that we completed last time, we met Rabia, who is one of the gangsters of Yataghan, working with Toshiro. Sabine is a member, or was a member, of S&R, and that's why they recognized us to begin with. We'll just go down the list. We have built a ship mind, and we put Neovend into it, who's now a navigator. We dealt with Hunter, so Hunter is now in a paradoxical loop. Killer is still around, supposedly. Extracting the past, so Harden's associates. We did do some espionage with Feng. There is still more to do with Feng, I believe. Yep, we freed Neovend. We got Sabine out. We are staying. Well, we have Sabine's apartment, which is where we met Rabia. Helping Lem work, taking care of Mina. And I believe that is one of the end goals of this game, is to escape the station on the sidereal horizon. However, we are also being tracked by Ethan the Bounty Hunter, and we needed Feng to deal with our tracker, so that when we eventually leave the station, which we will leave the station one way or another, then we'd be able to escape without being followed. You've paid Ethan's tab, but your troubles with his bounty hunter seem far from over, because it's going to happen again. We repaid Dragos because we did the Winter Light, so we paid off his debt, and then survive. So yes. Currently we have 64 cryo, we have a stabilizer, which is good. We have 2 ship mine fragments. I need 1 more to help build Ankita's ship mine. We have the imprinted ship mine with Neovend, and Feng's gun box, which says "Take me to Tamba." I have no idea what Tamba is. I've never seen it, and we'll find out. But we have a pretty good roll. Actually, let's have a check of our data as well. Yeah, lots of Havenage data. Haven't been able to trade that for anything useful yet. But yes, we have a lot of things that we can do. Unfortunately, we were still waiting on the salvage sorties to complete, and in fact those 2 are going to complete on the same day, which is very annoying because it means I won't be able to use both of my... I'm going to be spending dice on one instead of the other, so I'll have to make a choice. Rabia's office just takes time, I believe. Yeah, for an appointment. We did a bit of exploring on the spoke, and the cryo haggler stuff is very useful because we can now buy things. But unfortunately, I can't do anything with this just yet. I don't have 240 cryo for a ship mind. I can't buy the Matsutake for Emphis, which I believe we're still working towards, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. The sidereal ticket is actually fairly easy to do. Like, if we go all the way down to the bottom, we should be able to guarantee we finish it. Let's see. Pretty soon. Not straight away, but pretty soon. The Havenage offices is where we track the Yataghan data, and we can also supply ship fragments. Ankita's ship, the Ambergris, we still need the ship mine for that. The Overlook bar. This is where... I guess it's not where Ethan is, actually. Ethan's in a separate bar over here. The Ort Exchange, We need scrap components to be able to get ship mine fragments out, or at least have the ability to, the chance for it. Fabricator, yep, same thing. We need to have the fragments to be able to do it. Emphasis stall. We can now buy the fungus for a little bit cheaper. And I'm not going to do this because one of our abilities now is that whenever we do an engage action, we have a chance to gain energy. So I'll have to keep an eye out on what the engage actions are. We have engineer and Tabler. Tabler's got +1 intuition, +1 to intuition. And then I think the free spoke has... there we go. So it has the chance for engage to be +1. You get ++ spoke climber. We can guarantee this with a 5. And I think I will, because that maxes it out. So, let's explore the free spoke. You find your way to a service elevator that doubles as a bar. Patrons sipping drinks as the whole room crawls up the spoke. Alright, ascender car. Take the ascender car to the Eye's central hub. That's the thing, like, we've not... I'm assuming most of what we've done so far has been in the low end, which is the slums, right? So this is going to be the posh area, the rich area. The hub and the mainframe. Let's have a look at the mainframe. Access mainframe. The AE1 mainframe is now mostly disused. Havenage having set up their own master controllers. Navigator thinks Killer is hiding here. Well, why don't we put them in? We'll see. You slot Navigator and the clamps lock. The ship mind is stuck. How are you going to get them out of this thing? You're not. You slip into the cloud as easy as blinking. Navigator is beside you, the sphere casting light into the strange darkness here. This is not how a mainframe should look. A center, a point of connection. The object in front of you is severed, cut off. A rootless, branchless tree. Only the trunk remains. Is Killer even here? It's dead. It's dead. Quiet, Navigator hisses. And then you see it like a blade in the dark. An edge slicing through the void. It glides along the distance and winks out. Then it appears elsewhere, gliding once more, searching. It's looking for us. What is it? I mean, obviously it's kind of looking, and I can't have the option to stay quiet, so what is it? The moment you make a sound, the edge leaps closer, and you see now it is not an edge, but the ridge of a long, sharp head like a shark. Yeah, because we had Hunter, which is like a centaur with a tendril head. This is very much, it's a blinded erasure protocol, because of course, it can't find us without Hunter. It glides past, closer now, and you see into the voids where its eyes should be. You and Navigator exchange looks, both thinking the same thing. It is blind. Killer crosses between you two, smooth as a razor, then disappears. It flickers back in, further away now, and you move closer to Navigator to talk. You saw it too then. Killer has been blinded. How? We need to be careful. How? Unclear. This protocol has been running for decades, well past its operational limit. Navigator's sons dull as they drop their voice to a whisper. This may give us an advantage over the protocol. You flinch as the silent killer appears closer and glides past you, its empty sockets open wide. You turn to Navigator and notice something strange. Their orrery of spheres is collapsing. The orbits, usually round and even, are decaying. The spheres are following spiral paths, condensing on a central point. Navigator is noticing it too. They go to shift their position to better direct the spheres, but they cannot. Whatever is drawing the orrery together is holding them in place. They look at you, suddenly desperate, frantic. It's a trap. Get out. It's a trap! You go to speak, but Killer appears between the two of you, gliding through the gap. Navigator freezes, and you see them framed in the empty socket. You realize now, if Navigator cannot move, then it is only a matter of time before one of Killer's sweeps brings them directly through Navigator. And time is not a problem for a protocol that has been running for decades. You look desperately around for a solution, for a way to extract Navigator from the mainframe. Then you see it. 3 branches, the last 3, thin and spindly, feeding the mainframe a thin diet of power and data. Break these and the mainframe collapses once and for all, severing the connection, shattering the hardware. Whatever it takes, they must be broken. But they are encased in something, a glassy layer of protection. You'll need to unlock access before snapping them from the mainframe for good. You look at Navigator, trying to reassure them without speaking, and then you blink back to reality, Their expression of fear and afterimage that slowly fades. You must act quickly. How quickly is quickly? We have a new drive. Deal with killer. Gain mainframe access. It's a terrifying blind threat. Oh, that's cool. You can rotate around the hub. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so the mainframe branch. Unlock branch. This controller protects the last spindly branches feeding into the mainframe. Unlock access and you might be able to break them. But we need to do this 3 times. 3 keys. Because it'll be on each side, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's 2. Yeah, so you need 3 more encrypted keys, so that's why you would carry on doing it then. Alright, and the mainframe access is unavailable. The hub. Okay. So, spacer socializing. The hub is thronging with spacers from across the surrogate systems. They can be a prickly bunch, but they know the place well. Okay, we get engage +1 on that. It's a risky though. Weightless wanderer. Up here there is no gravity, so even just moving around takes a while to get used to, let alone navigating the bays. Then access manifest. The stacked bays house a flow of incoming and outgoing ships. The digital manifest will help you get your head around this place. Okay, so that could be pretty good, but it costs energy for one and cryo for another. Okay. And then that's the descender. And then the last one will be... Is this number 3? It should be, right? Yeah, okay. So, we have something we need. Ah, a key node. 4 or 3. I guess I'll put in a 3. Bypass. Extract. Okay. That's 1 key. Oh, are there 3 nodes here? Oh, well, there you go. They guarantee it. A 6. Okay, I guess I'll put my 6 in then. Okay. And what's the last one? Oh. The cloud in the data ghost of the eye. A glint like a light traveling along the edge of a wave fills your eyes. Then the blade follows, a long head with 2 dead sockets slipping towards you in silence. You freeze, hoping it will pass you by, hoping that it will not simply slice through you like air. The blade head nears, slides past you, almost. It nicks you, grazes you. You are desperate to cry out, to call out. But you hold your silence and simply watch the blind eyes of the killer glide past, empty of all thought. Then the blade winks into the dark and you're alone again. Now you cry out. And that did take away a pip of condition from me. Okay. And then last one. If it will let me select it, as I've said before, it's a bit finicky with it actually letting you choose to do it or not. There we go. We need a 5 or a 3, and we do not have either. Okay, well, what I could do is I'm going to use my... Should I use my 6 dice on the socializing one to get the energy? Yeah, I think that's probably worth it. But I just need to rotate it around. No, not that one. Yeah, maybe it is this one. Mainframe? No, it's not mainframe. I want central hub. Where is central hub? There, the hub. Okay. Let's see if we get energy out of this. Well, it was a positive outcome, but no energy. And if I put my 4 dice in, 50% positive, 50% neutral. I'm going to re-roll, because I might get a 5 or a 3, which is what I'd need for the key node. I'm pretty sure, right? It's only 5 or 3. And if I get anything different from a 4, then I can probably do it for something else in the cloud and get some more cryo that way. So let's see. 5 or a 3? 3! Good stuff. Oh? The entire greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. What is happening here? I didn't even know this was a thing to select. That was weird. I was trying to select the key node. Alright. Bypass. We have the keys. Let's unlock. Oh, the Gimbal Lounge. Spacer bar. Buy a spacer meal. The gimbal sells itself on its spinning sphere, which claims to produce therapeutic gravitational effects. It doesn't, but they sell food. Now, would this give me 3 energy? Surely not, right? It's slightly more expensive than the fungus, so I'm wondering if it would give me more. But anyway, let's unlock. Okay. Then we shall unlock. Okay. And we shall unlock. There we go. And then now the mainframe. Ah. Slice hardware. Forget hacking the system. Killer has to die. If you can slice the branch connections, the mainframe will shut down, freeing Navigator. It's an engineer action and I don't have any bonuses. But it would do Killer is dead. The Killer protocol has been running for long enough. Breaking the mainframe's final connections will end the protocol. And then the other one is Catch a Killer. Loop branches. With access to the branches, you could redirect them to form a loop, both isolating the mainframe with Killer inside, but freeing Navigator, in theory. Catch a Killer. The Killer protocol can be isolated without being destroyed. A loop of connections would lock it into a closed system. Alright. So it still takes the same... Actually, no, it doesn't take the same. Positive outcome of Catch a Killer is +++. And the other one is ++. Okay. It feels like you would want to do Killer is dead anyway. That deals with the problem more permanently. It takes longer to do Catch a Killer, and it doesn't solve the problem. So if you have the dice for it, you might as well do Slice Hardware. Okay, well, I do not have the dice, but the Gimbal Lounge. Buy a space meal. Let's find out how much this gives. If it doesn't give 3 energy, then it's just worse than the fungus. It does give 3 energy. Okay, so fine. 14 cryo for that. So if we go back down, descend, check out Emphas again. Emphasis stall. 12, yeah, so it cost you 2 cryo more. But I suppose the idea is that if you did not spend the time to do Emphas, then you could go to the Gimbal Lounge. Right. Let's see what Ethan has to have for us. There's no avoiding this. It'll come up at some point, so let's deal with it sooner rather than later. The compressor is quiet today. The usual crowds are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spacers and a few drunks. Ethan is still on the same stool in the same pool of light. His head is low, close to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring him. Well, there's no point going to him and then saying leave, so approach him. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper! He turns to look at you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here, take their chits. No more, Ethan. Ethan doesn't even look at you. He props his elbows on the bar and holds his head. Sleeper, it's been a long cycle. Enough. Ethan lets out a long sigh. He rapidly rubs his eye with his palms. You are right, he says quietly. This isn't fun anymore. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles out. It clatters on the bar and falls to the floor, bouncing onto the ground between you. Both you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan, and puts out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun back, if you would. The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. Now, this is an interesting one. It would feel more satisfying to point the gun at Ethan But the point is that you're trying to show that you are better than what Ethan thinks you are. So you can just give him the gun back. And maybe there'll be an epiphany, maybe there'll be a moment of realization. We'll find out. Hand Ethan the gun. You slap the handle of the gun back in Ethan's hand. Thank you, he hisses. Now where was I? He lazily swings the gun past you and the bartender. Yes, leaving. He stands. Sleeper, while this has been fun, I think I've wrung out every last drop out of this place. Time to go home. He waggles the gun towards the door. Let's go see S&R. No. Ethan brings his gun hand to his face and rubs his eye. Well, he says, the bounty pays half, but he levels the gun. Up to you. And he pulls the trigger. The gun clicks. By now, all the attention in the bar is on you and Ethan, who looks at his gun with a bemused expression. The bartender raises an open hand, and in it are 10 shiny bullets. 10 shiny bullets he took out of Ethan's gun while he was asleep on the bar. He still tried to shoot me. Damn. Ethan smiles at him. Oh well, he says, and hits you in the head with the butt of the gun. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters onto a surface. The hit's a glancing blow, but it makes your vision swim. Through the blur, you see Ethan wrestle a small, thin slate from his belt and hold it up. Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it in. Ethan taps at the slate. No more playing. Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting, a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He crouches down and grabs you by the chin, his face close, his breath heavy with drink. S&R just screwed me, he grins maniacally. They cancelled the contract. He stands up. They cancelled the contract, he shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the hit fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back towards the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. I'll kill all of you, he screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. I'll be back for that, he shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. Well, well, well. Ethan may be disarmed, but you doubt you've seen the last of him. Ethan's vendetta. Okay, well, I guess giving Ethan a bit too much credit for that. I mean, the point is that pointing the gun at Ethan wouldn't have worked either way because there was no bullets in it. So there isn't really anything you can do to change that outcome. He's going to hit you. There's nothing about that. And the contract with S&R would have been cancelled anyway, so not a lot to change that outcome. Alright. Well, we have no dice, but we have full energy, and things are about to start happening again, so let's go home and rest. We don't need to do our stabilizer yet. End the cycle.